Welcome everyone. Myself Vaidya Sunil Rapolu. Knowledge impacts immortality. So in this note, today I am going to deliver my video talk on basic concept of Dhatu, a creative overview. So without wasting any time, let's we start our video class. So generally, Dhatu is considered as one of the basic constitution of the human body, along with the dosh and mal. So those dhatumal are considered as a trinity of the human body. The harmony among these trinity is responsible for the maintenance of the health. So by integrating and coordinating each other, those dhatumal regulate all the function within the normal way and maintain the homeostasis of the our body. So if any deviation is take place in the harmony of this level, so it may create the or it may lead to the deformity in our body. So here I am, before going to our main concept, here I am explaining the or giving the some overview about the dosh and mal. Then after we will go through our main topic, that is the dhatu. So for what is the dhatu? So dhatu is nothing but it is a biological complex internal potential energy of the our body, which is derived from the relative predominance of the basic building block element, that is the Panch Mahabhut. In those are in the normal status is responsible for the maintain and regulate the all the function within normal way, and thus it maintain the homeostasis of the our body. If any deviation or variation is take place in the context of that to dosha level, so it may lead to disturb the homeostasis, and then after it may create the abnormality in our body. So it is difficult to prove them physically as such, but they are expressed by their attributes and function. It means that those are mostly a physiological entities of the or body. Dosha, it is believed that the guna are expressed outside through the rutu and inside by the virtue of the dosh. Dosha is considered as activator, which by placing inside the different structures, organ along with the dhatu, they activate them to do their function within the normal way. So it is about the basic concept of the dosh. And what is about the mal? Mal is considered as a waste or unwanted substance of the our body. It bear and support the our body in some extent. Its production and elimination is important because they cannot be stay and nourish our body. So they have their own function, purpose of the creation. Once they created, they functioned. So once their function is over, they eliminate out of the our body. If body is failed to expel it out, so it become painful or for the body normally. So due to this mala swabhav, it by expelling out of the our body, it detoxify our body. So it is about the general discussion about the mal. So now we are moving on to the main concept, that is the about the dhatu. So first of all, what is the vyutpatti, how the dhatu word is derived? So dhatu word is derived from da with the prefix of the tun, da dharan poshane, so which bear support provide the nourishment. So that entity or phenomenon is called as a dhatu. शरीर धारणात धातवा, शरीर धारकत्व द्वातंत्र पोषकत्व च धातु शब्देन उच्चे. So which so the whatever the entity in our body which is responsible for the bear and support the burn, as well as it has a tendency or ability to provide the nourishment to inter dhatus or ongoing dhatus. So the specific entity or structure or gross phenomenon is called as a dhatu. So what? So Ayurveda has classified seven variety of the dhatus in our body. So they are the ras, rakt, mas, med, asti, majja, and sukra. So these are the seven dhatus which are present in our body. Oj is considered as the essence of the body. So that is why it is not discussed separately in as a classification of the dhatu. Now we see how the Panchabodhi composition of the dhatu. So dhatu, so as like as the dosha, it is also derived from the relative predominance of the Pancha Mahabhuta or basic building block elements. So Ras is derived from the relative predominance of the Jala Mahabhut, Rakta as from the Jala and Agni Mahabhut, Mamsa from the Prithvi Mahabhut, Meda is from the Prithvi and Jal Mahabhut, Asti from the Prithvi and Vayu Mahabhut, Majja from the Jal and Shukra from the Jal Mahabhut. So this is the Pancha Mahabhut composition of the all the dhatus. Now we move on to the general function of the dhatu. So Piranam Jivanam Lepos Neo Dharan Purane and Purane Garbhotpadakata Dhatuna Shreshta Karm Karma Smuta. So Prinan, it is the function of the Ras Dhatu. It provides the satisfaction and gratification by providing the nourishment by maintaining the tissue perfusion to the tissue. It sustain the or give the prenan quality of that tissue. Jivan means that rakta, it is a function of the mainly rakta. So this function is mediated induced by the rakta dhatu. So rakta is considered as a jivanash adharam uttama. So by carrying the pran within it, by providing the pran to the different tissue, it maintain the life or it sustain the life within the body by carrying the vital energy and vital process. So that is why this is the function of I consider as a jivan. And lepan means that this function is carried by the or delivered by the mass dhatu. So which by covering the deeper tissue, it provide the protection to that deeper tissue. And sneo, it oiliness and chasteness. So this function is provided by the med dhatu. And dharan, which provide the support to our body, so that is derived from the supported by the asti dhatu. And puran means it filling the gaps. So majja is considered as it fill the hollow structure which are present in the asti dhatu. Garpotpadakacha. It is the function of the Shukra dhatu. It ensures the continuation of the reproduction. So it is about the basic functions of the seven dhatus. So what is the interrelation between the dosh and dhatu? So dhatu, which is the gross biological functional structure of the body. So it's mold and shape the different organs and structures of the body. So that is heart, lung, organ and blood vessel and so on. So dhatu, which is bear and support the our body. So but these functions are governed by the a biological complex internal potential energy, that is the dosh. So dosh is by placing within the dhatu, it activates the dhatu to do their function within a normal way. So the dosh, which is the biological potential energy, by placing within that dhatu and other organ, they activate them to do their function. So basically, it is observed that so external weaved structure, that is the pillar which bear and support the our house or building, but it is not so. So there is one specific internal energy which is placed within that pillars. They enable them to provide the support to our house and whole and building and house and holes are withstand in that the whatever the stability which is provided, the structure within that pillar is there. In the same way, so the potential energy of the dosha which is present within the dhatu, they activate dhatu or they enable dhatu to do their function normal. If any deviation is take place in dosha, so it may disturb the function of the dhatu. Dosha, they cannot be seen on micro or observed on microscope and naked eyes, but the dhatu, due to their gross structure, they can be absorbed in microscope even in the naked eye. So it is some interrelation between the dosh and dhatu. Now we move on to the other concept, that other aspect, that is the formation of the dhatu. So origin, development, maturation of dhatu. How the dhatus are derived or originated or formed. So there is one context is there in the Charak Chikitsasan. So in Charak or Atre explained that dhatu or formed by the following the logical sequence, that the ras is the basic or first dhatu to form. It form the basic from the formation of the rakta dhatu, and Rakta is flow into the Mas Dhatu, which is followed by the Med, Asti, Majja, and Sukra. This is the sequence. The first Ras Dhatu is formed, then after Rak, Mas, Med, Asti, Majja, and Sukra. So this is the way of the sequence of the formation of the Dhatu explained by the Atreya. So normally, so after listening the formation of dhatu sequence from the Atreya, so different one of the his disciple, that is it is the Atreya Agnivesh, raised some questions and queries regarding this sequence. So what are that queries or questions by it is they are raised by the Agnivesha, that Rakta, the how the he arises the question that how the Rakta is derived or originated from insimilar Ras Dhatu, because Ras which does not have a redness in that in their structure, so how the Rakta is stained with the red color. So it is the first question or query which is raised by the Agnivesh. And then what second query is that mass, so mass which is stable in nature, so how the stable mass dhatu is derived from the liquid rakt dhatu. In the same way, how the med dhatu is derived from the liquid property is ras and rakt dhatu. So mass and med are considered, and next query is that mass or med are considered as a slakshna, or they are the sticky in nature. So how this sticky nature is lead to form the curve or rough nature asti dhatu, and this asti is considered as a rough. So how the spongy or slimy net consistency majja dhatu is derived from the asti dhatu. And the last query of the Agnivesh is that it in the Ayurveda context it has been said that Shukra is present throughout the body. So how it is derived from the Majja Dhatu? So there is no pores present in the Asti Dhatu. If the Shukra is present in the Majja Dhatu, which is present inside the Asti Dhatu, so how the Shukra is exudes or oozes out from that Asti Dhatu. So it is the some queries or question which is raised by the Agnivesh after listening the Atreya's explanation of the Dhatu sequence of the formation. So here I am trying to resolve these queries by in the context of the Atreya view and as well as other views in the form of the creative way. So in Ayurveda context, it is a Annam way Pran. So Anna is considered as a Pran which provides the vital energy, life force. So we are what we eat. So seven dhatus are formed what we eat through the process of the metabolism. So through the process of the metabolism, and thus Ayurveda teaches that the seven dhatu must not be lost from our body, otherwise it will lead to the illness in our body. So digestion process also separate the nutritions from the waste products. So it means that ensure the elimination of the waste products or body. So after the digested food, after the digestion it undergoes the seven stages in our body, through which it form the one of the seven dhatus of our body. So let me first we see the how the basic ras dhatu is derived derived in our body, or it form in our body. So ras, it is the first dhatu to form in our body. So whatever the food which we are ingested by following the proper rule of the related to the diet and regimen. So with the help of the pran vayu, after undergoing the mastication deglutition process, it enter into the coast. So after entering into the coast, the cleather cuff and along with this some secretory products, they break down this food into the small pieces and convert them into the moisturized form. So, and then after saman vayu stimulate the pachak pith, to do the or to exhibit the Agni function on the ingested food by converting the Sadropit into the Adropit. So after the digestion of the activation of the this Pachak Agni on the ingested food, so there is a Param Shushma essence nutrition for structure entities formed from the food, and which separate the sar from the kit, and that whatever the param shushma essence of the food is there, that is considered, it is termed as a ras dhatu. So after formation of this ras dhatu or ahar ras, it is absorbed from the intestine, wherein it is circular, it is enter into the hruday by the help of the samman vayu, by following the hepatic and lymphatic circulation. Whenever it is reached into the hruday, so by the help of the vayu through the 24 dhamani circulate throughout the body, and in the course of the circulation, during the course of its circulation, different the ongoing dhatus get their needed nutrients from this ras dhatu, and they get the nourishment through this ras dhatu, and they become grow. So this is the, so in this way ras dhatu provide the nourishment and maintain the tissue perfusion. So what about this? So what is about the this ras dhatu? So what is the exact definition of the ras dhatu? So ras dhatu is nothing but it is a digested. So after the digestion of the food, whatever the essence nutrition portion is there, which is in liquid in nature, containing some nutrients portion, which is by circulating the throughout the body, it providing the, by providing the nourishment to the different tissue, it maintain the tissue perfusion, having a properties of liquid, seethe in cool in nature, and which is seethe colorless, and which is taste, and which is oily, and which is movable. So whatever the structure which is possess the this all entities, and which is liquid in nature, and as well as having a nutrient portion, that may be a termed as a ras dhatu. So it is about the basic concept of the ras. Now move on to the Rakta Dhatu. So, so there is a, in Dalan said that wherever the digestion is take place, so where there are the two, mainly there are two elements are formed. One is the Sar and Kit. Sar has a two portion. One is the Shushma and Stul. Stul, which is remain in that dhatu, and shushma, whatever the shushma is there, it is propelled forward, and it is moved forward, transcirculated forward to provide the nourishment to the ongoing dhatu. So whatever the shushma portion of the ras dhatu is there, so whenever it is reached into yakrut and pliya, in that, so whatever the ranjak agni is there, it or the whatever the rasa agni is there, it act on that sushma bhag of the ahara ras, and do some biological transformation, and from in this process that entities attain the red color and form the rakta dhatu. So this is the way of the hemopoiesis as per as the Ayurveda concept. So Vagbhat says that Amasya Asana Pitta Ranjakam Ras Ranjanat. So he considers the Rakta Dhatu formation is take place in the Amasya. So it may be the reason that in modern there is one explanation is that Castle incensing factor which is present in the Amasya, which is responsible for the absorption of the vitamin B12, and vitamin B12 is the major hemopoietic factor. So this is maybe the relation why the Ashtang in the Vagbhat said the formation of Rakta Dhatu is take place from the Amasya. So Rakta is considered as a Sarva Jivanas Adharam Uttamam. It provide the so it is the basic for the Jivan, because it carry the pran within it, and it is provide the pran to the different tissue and sustain the life of the that entity or that human being. So that is why it is considered as a sarva jivan as a adhar. So which is in guru snigdha chal swadu vidagt in nature. It means that it is neither cool or nor heat in nature. So it means that so, so the structure which is in liquid in nature, which is possess the some nutrient portion which is provide the nourishment to the different tissue, and which is maintain the tissue perfusion, which is in the snigdha chala swadu guru swadu and drava in nature, that is called as a ras. So that may be the plasma, that may be the interstitial fluid, that may be the lymph. And coming on to Rakta, so Rakta is nothing but the entity which is movable, which is in red in color, which is carry the pran. So that is the majorly which is not in cool and hot in nature. So that entity is considered as a Rakta. So it may be the blood cell which is remains suspended in plasma, may be the considered as a Rakta Dhatu. So now move on to the mass dhatu. So whenever the stability is provided in the Rakta Dhatu by the interaction of the Vayu, Ambu and Tej, and along with the Rakta Dhatus Agni, so there is a solid stable mass dhatu will be created. So this Vayu and this Agni dry up the liquidity of the Rakta Dhatu and they form the stable Mas Dhatu. Mas Dhatu, by placing the in the deeper structure, it provide the covering to the deeper structure, that is the Sira, Snayu, Nasti and so on, and provide the protection to that structure along with providing the covering and the protection to the deeper structure. It do their function more actively. Now Med Dhatu. So whatever the Sushma portion of the Masa Dhatu is there, by the digestion of the Masa Agni within that mass, and as well as the but adding of the interaction of the Tej and as well as Ambu gone within that Sushma Sharbag of the Masa. So there is a along during this course of the process, there is the properties expressed and eventually it form the Med Dhatu. Asti, how the Asti Dhatu is formed. So normally, so whenever the Sushma portion of the Med Dhatu is there, so when the interact whenever the Prithvi, Agni and Anil is interact with that Sushma Sharbag of the Med and as well as the interaction of its own Agni. So this there is a transmutation of the consistency of the Med from the slimy toward from the stickiness toward the roughness is take place, and eventually it form the Asti Kar Dhatu. And Majja, how the Majja is formed. So during the course of the formation of the Asti Dhatu, Vayu form the create the porous structure within that Asti. So from wherein it the snake of the Meda is enter and form the spongy Majja Dhatu. So Majja Dhatu having the dominance of the Jal and Somya group. So in context of the consistency of the nature, it is resemble as a freezing clarified butter nature, which is slightly heavier than the made. So the Majja, that is Asti Madhyagasne, on the basis of this Standrutakar Majja, so it may be correlated with the brain which is present within the skull and the spinal cord which is present in the vertebral column. So due to the dominancy and Jala and Somya, it may be the considered as one of the dual of the Shleshma. Now we move on to the seventh dhatu, that is the Shukra. How the Shukra dhatu is formed. So Ayurveda text explain that Shukra is pervading throughout the body, or it is present all our body in invisible manner, like the ghee, which is indivisible in milk, same as the jaggery, which cannot be directly seen in the sugar cane. So in this way, Shukra is pervading throughout the body. Shukra in man. So the Shukra which is present in visible form in the man, it is ejaculated out through the penis in the form of the visible Shukra. So when the Shukra is ejaculated out when the man is indulged in the sexual activity after getting the stimulation of the sexual thought or touches. So in this way, the invisible Shukra is become visible in that course of the process. And Shukra in children. Children will have a Shukra in dormant stage. So it is resemble as a buds of the flower, which have a fragrance, which have a hidden fragrance in the hidden fragrance. So this Shukra become appear visible when the children reach at the adult stage. Shukra in women. So normally, there is a one claim is that Shukra is also present in the human, whatever this Shukra which is present in human, it is not real concerned with the Garbhodpadak property. So it is not related to the production of the production of the offspring. So it is mainly related to the Harsh, Priti, Bal related function. So it possesses all the functions of the Shukra except the Garbhodpadak. So this Garbhodpadak function is derived by it is involved with the Artha Dhatu. So Bhava Misra is said that so there are 8 dhatus are present in the whole body. So seventh is Artha, eighth is Shukra Dhatu in female. It means that Shukra is also present in the woman, but it is not concerned with the Garbhodpata. So except the Garbhodpata or whatever the function which is mediated by the Shuk, all that entity or Priti Bal may be mediated by the Shukra which is present in the woman. So वायव्य आकाश आदि भावे शोषरियम जायते अस्ति so तेन श्राव्य tat shukran navat kumbhadi odakam. So it is said that so Vayu and Akash which is create the porous structure in the Asti Dhatu from where so whatever the Majja Dhatu is present from where that Shukra is oozes out. So it exudes from that structure in the same way. So the water which is exudes or which oozes from the new port from after the freezing. So it means that Shukra there is some interrelation between the Majja and Shukra. So Shukra is oozes from the or which is derived from the Majja. So in some years ago, there is one some scientists or researcher like the Amin Tamadan and other researchers found that the bone marrow derived mesenchymal cell have a ability to induce the spermatogenesis process. It means that there is some interrelation between the Majja and Shukra, so for which is responsible for the spermatogenesis process and as well as the formation of the Shukra. So we will discuss elaborately regarding this concept in next video class. It is about the concept of the Dhatu. Thank you.